Welcome to Untapped Libraries, the podcast where guests go in depth about a magic brew that's special to them, or, maybe not. It's your boy, Neale.
It's your other guy, Vinny.
How's it going, Vinny? What's
I'm
your
good.
magic week looking?
We're going to talk about this. I've been playing a lot of Standard and Arena, which is something I've literally never done before.
Yeah, whereas I play Standard quite a lot.
Uh-huh. How about you? What has your week been like?
Life has been very, very busy. I have not had time to play Magic in person very much, though I have been painting a little bit more.
Okay.
Which is the main way that I spend time with Magic.
Because I've also gotten into altering a little bit too.
Yeah, you have some
Inspired
awesome little altars. Yeah.
Yeah. We've said in the past, there's so many different ways to engage with Magic that it's been a fun hobby.
Yeah, nice. Have you shared your altars with the public, or are they
I
more
think
private
I've posted. No, they're not private whatsoever. I've posted a couple on my Blue Sky. I've been going in two directions. One is kind of collage using an X-Acto to cut up Magic cards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my first idea was I want to use Darien Academy in one of my commander decks before Neale conveniently pointed out that it was bad.
Yeah.
Which for good reason. It makes sense why I've never seen one in a commander.
Yeah, you
game.
were like, oh, I'm gonna put this in my deck, and I was like, I don't think you can.
I totally didn't realize that it was. And again, I didn't realize it. It makes sense. But I was like, well, I want to put a proxy in, and so then I did this. I took Talarian Wall and like something Academy.
Wait, I thought it was Academy.
Academy Wall.
Academy Wall.
And then Talarian like Serpent or something like that.
Yeah, great.
And then I cut up the Academy and I cut out the Serpent. I put the Academy in the Serpent. And then I just blacked out everything else. And then I was like, oh, I can't use this. But I also, in my CDH deck, I have a Wheel of Fortune that I proxied. And I'm like, well, what if I do Wheel of Fortune? So Wheel of Potential from MH3.
Oh, horrible. I remember opening it and being excited and then reading it and being like, what?
Why? Yeah. It's less exciting for sure.
Yeah.
And then like Soldier of Fortune or something Fortune. And I just cut out Potential. Stuck in. I cut out the Fortune and stuck it in, and then I didn't cut anything else out. I just blacked out using. So this is the other way I've been messing with cards is Posca markers, which is like acrylic paint markers.
Yeah.
And I blacked it out and I drew my own discard, draw 7.
Awesome.
And that's been fun. And then I took it a step further. I wanted to proxy some dual lands, so I took a mountains and a plains and a mountains and an island, a couple mountains and a couple islands. I cut them up. And then I made like dual lands out of them. You can see them on my Blue Sky, Vinny Francois.
Awesome. Great idea. No one should spend $700 on an OG duel. It's not
I spent
worth it.
I think I spent $12 on a scalpel from Amazon.
Oh, okay. I was going to say $12 for an island and a mountain.
Yeah, but for that $12 now I can cut up any pair of cards I want and cobble them together. And it's kind of fun. They kind of look kind of weird and Frankenstein-y, but I enjoy it.
I'm a big fan of like high effort proxies. I'm also fine with low effort proxies.
Sure.
That's totally fine. Yeah, I have a duel where I took a revised planes.
Right.
The artist was the same, Jesper Mirfors. The frame is almost exactly the same, and I just painted a tundra on it.
Yeah, and it looks amazing.
The only thing that really gives it away is I am not Klug, and I cannot do perfect writing. So
that's crazy. Yeah,
my writing tundra looks like scrawled by a 6-year-old, but
it looks good.
Yeah, but if the rest of the card actually kind of passes, it looked pretty good.
Yeah. And in case people are wondering, we don't have a guest today. It's really just going to be us chatting. I just realized I don't think we've mentioned this.
I was trying to hint to it in my intro.
Yeah. But I want to be explicit about it. If you're waiting, like, how long are they going to talk about this stuff? It's going to be the whole episode.
Yeah. There's no
us
guest.
talking about Magic the Gathering for us. Some people have asked us, like, they want to hear more from us, get to know us a little bit better. And so we're indulging our super fans.
Also, finding guests is really hard work. It's like,
that's true.
It is a lot of labor, a lot of rejection.
It is a lot of hustle, yeah.
A lot of rejection, or a lot of ghosting. A lot of people who have said yes and then
didn't book with us.
People
are busy. People have life going on. That's okay.
Yeah. I'm not blaming anyone.
Sounds like you are.
A little bit.
Hey, listen, if you're listening right now and you know someone who'd be a great guest, tell them to email us untappedlibraries@gmail.com.
Yeah,
We'd love to have just unsolicited guests come join us. We are, if you have an interesting idea, pitch it to us, and if we're into it, we'll have you on.
Our standards are extremely low
Based on today's guests.
Yeah. Our last episode, we had Maria from Good Luck High
Yeah.
Five, who was like a dream guest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this week it's Vinny.
It's
and
nightmare guests.
Yeah, nightmare guests. So how do you want to do this, Vinny? I brought a deck.
Yeah.
A deck that I consider a signature deck, sort of mine.
Yeah. I imagine I've played against this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You play.
This is a commander paper deck, right?
It's a paper commander deck. It is part of a series that I did where I was doing monocolor decks.
Okay.
And I did all the important colors.
Let's talk about it.
Which
all the important colors.
Yeah.
You really hate green.
Green.
It's the least important color.
Yeah, it's not.
Is it unimportant?
It's not bad. It's strong.
Right.
It's just
a color you have no time of the day for.
I have no interest in green. I have actually started sketching out. This is a sidetrack.
Okay. This whole episode is a sidetrack.
It's like sidetrack on sidetrack on sidetrack.
Yeah.
So I have started sketching out a mono green deck.
Wow.
And I decided the only way that I would do it would be to not have any green cards in it.
Okay, I'm into this.
So it's a green commander.
Uh-huh.
So
is it devoid with green?
No, that doesn't exist. Yeah, if Wizards could please print a legendary, either a colorless legendary green creature with a green activated ability, or a.
It's true. That's not. There is a green devoid Eldrazi from MH3, but it's not legendary.
There's several.
You're right, but none of them are legendary.
Yeah. None of them are legendary, or it could be a devoid card. Then I could make a fully non-green green deck.
Yeah, I love this for you.
So the only thing is the commander, it's a derivative of one of the decks we've had on the show, which was the Lumra deck.
Land deck. Right.
And Lumra really makes sense. So the idea would be Lumra plus a bunch of like land ramp artifacts.
Right.
So your sort of usual expedition map and Wayfarer's Bauble, stuff like that. And I think that would work. It would be nice if it wasn't as derivative of Enki's deck, which was a great deck,
Loved
great
it.
Episode.
So your dream mono green deck has no green cards on it.
No green in the deck.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice if it didn't have green in the command zone either. Like if it just had that one little green activated ability
that you never used.
That would be perfect.
No forests.
No. It has four. I think it would have forests.
Your dream mono green deck is wastes.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be amazing.
All right, so let's talk about this commander deck. It's monocolored, and do know a few of them. I guess I know all of them. So which one did you bring?
I brought my. It's a 20-year-old commander. It's Darien, King of Kjeldor.
Yes.
It's kind of annoying.
Annoying to play or annoying to face?
Annoying to face.
It
off
is annoying
against
to face
it
against
because it basically shuts down certain strategies completely.
Certain strategies, mostly being combat.
Yeah, combat, or this deck loves to see an impact tremors across the table.
Right.
Anything like that that's just like pinging everyone for damage indiscriminately. This deck is super happy. So I'll read Darien first.
What does Darien do?
So Darien, King of Kjeldor, he's a legendary creature, human soldier. He costs 6, so 4 and 2 white.
Expensive for a commander.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of the downsides of the deck. Is like getting him out is hard sometimes. Mm-hmm. And very simple line of text. Whenever you're dealt damage, you may create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. I think every single time that I play this deck against someone who's never faced it, they
don't realize how it works.
They don't realize that many, which is really strong.
Right. So if I attack you for 5, you're not making 1 soldier. You're making 5 soldiers.
I'm making 5, yeah. And then the combo is you have that and one of the Soul Sisters or one of that sort of effect. And so basically, if you attack me for 5...
You take 5, you make 5 soldiers, they all come into play, and you gain 5 life.
Yeah.
So you've done 0 damage and given you 5 soldiers.
And then if I have 2 Soul Sisters out, which is very possible... You do 5 to me, I make 5 soldiers, I gain 10 life. So basically it's like a standoff deck where you can't really attack into it until you have lethals.
Or kill Darien.
Or kill Darien.
Which you may also make difficult.
Runs a lot of protection because he's very expensive. It is a tricky deck in that it doesn't really have a lot of win conditions in it. It's hard to get to the win conditions with it. Sometimes, like we played a couple weeks ago and everybody scooped to it because somebody board wiped and I basically protected all my protected my board, and everyone was like,
was it Teferi's Protection, something similar?
Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like a really simple little deck. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. And you've painted it.
So I have certain rules for these deck. Every single card has to either be a secret lair, a full or like a featured art, signed or painted. And so every single card in this deck meets that criteria. Yeah, you've played against it.
A bunch of times.
Do you enjoy playing against it, or is it how annoying is it?
Yeah, it's medium annoying in that, like, the number one interaction in Commander, I would say, is combat. Like, very rarely are people looking to do damage outside of that. Even, let's say, my Torwalkie deck that does like 2 damage every time I cast a red or black spell or whatever, which is fun. You like eat that up because it's just constantly making more and more soldiers.
I actually will often not play the deck if I see that sort of deck across the table, just because it's too good.
Yeah, and here's the thing that's annoying about it. Like, if we can't direct damage you and if we can't combat you, that's 90% of the decks you're going to see. And so it's almost an auto win against 90% of the decks you're going to see. And the challenge is to have like your draw, maybe you've got like a Wrath, maybe you've got some Farewell, maybe you've got a Blasphemous Act or something that's going to board wipe. And the board wipe is the only answer to your deck.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can take Darien down, and then when Darien's down,
but you protect it so hard that you have to like remove the protection, then remove Darien. So you have to have both pieces. And usually, what ends up happening, or what should end up happening, is that the board is it's basically arch enemy, where it's 1v3.
Yeah, and which I find really fun sometimes.
Sure.
We had a game a week ago ish, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, I think, at this point.
I was totally the arch enemy, and like honestly, I like loved every bit of it.
Sure.
Because the other thing is, like, I had no threat to win. Really, I was just scary. So
at the moment, but you just have to wait the table out. Like, you will get enough soldiers, because you also do stuff to damage yourself, because once you got your pieces in place, everybody stops attacking you.
Yeah.
And so now you need a way to find damage to deal to yourself.
And that game, somebody attacked with an unstoppable slasher, which cut my life in half.
Yes.
Then someone was able to strike me down just barely. They had like 30 damage. Honestly, I love that game. I was like, that's the sort of game that I want to play.
The other option is also commander damage.
Yes.
And so you can lose to commander, because no matter how much life you gain through this Dari and Soul Sister setup, if you still take the damage, you still take the commander damage. It wasn't prevented.
Yep.
So you could die through the 21 points of commander, which isn't impossible.
No, definitely not impossible. It could also lose by life loss. So anything that says like
you lose X life.
You lose X life.
Because it's not damage.
Yeah. So a bunch of the cards that I run in the deck that might seem like weird at first, I have like an Ancient Tomb and a Tarnished Citadel. It's a mono white deck. You don't need the other colors. I don't need the other colors. But they're both there as like, because self-damage. One of the things actually I find that whenever I play, I'm trying to balance all these different things. I'm trying to ramp really fast. I'm trying to protect Darien at all costs. I'm trying to make tokens. And then I'm also trying to damage myself. And I find that like trying to do all of those things at the same time, oftentimes I will fail at one of them. So I'm trying to add more self-damage, because a lot of the time I'm just sitting there. Everyone else is attacking. No one's attacking me. And I'm just kind of like
sitting there watching,
twiddling my thumbs. And like everyone's really scared of me.
Yeah. I think what are some of the, so you have Tarnished Citadel, you have the moon tomb, Ancient Tomb, because you've got the EOE art with the guy imprisoned in the moon that I'm thinking of.
No, I don't have that. I ran the OG.
Oh, okay,
the OG one. Yeah.
Right.
It was actually one I got from one of our guests, which is DJ from Card Garden. Yeah. It's very damaged. It's possibly moldy on the back. I'm not sure. It's in Chinese.
But it's an Ancient Tomb.
Yeah.
And you also have a Dingus Egg, I think, too, right?
The Dingus Egg comes in and out. The real star is the Jade Monolith. Jade Monolith, so good in this deck. It's a 4-mana artifact. You can pay 1 and you can redirect all damage that would be done to target creature to yourself. It's not creature you control. So you could have like 2 other players attacking each other, and you could prevent all damage that one of them would do, essentially, and take it on yourself and make a bunch of tokens.
Like, you just handed me the physical deck, and I'm looking through, and one, you've gotten really good at extending art. Like, I remember your first few cards and they were good, but now they're like really good. So it's great to look through it. Like, this full art planes that is really fun.
Yeah, it's from Edge of Eternities. It's like, it's not a planes at all. It's like a planet.
Like, it's a planetary nebula, but that has
yeah.
like a sun in it. Anyways, so the art is really fun. What cards are you happiest to draw in this deck?
One card I just added that I love the art is the Ninja Turtles Trouble in Pairs, which might be a little too strong for the deck. I'm not sure. It's trying to be in bracket 3, but only has 2 game changers. Trouble in Pairs I'm sort of counting as like a quasi game changer. Jade Monolith, I think, is probably the one that I just find the most fun. It also can protect. Like, if you Blasphemous Act, I can pay 1 mana, take all the damage that would go to Darien on myself,
right.
make a bunch of soldiers, then there's an empty board that I can attack people with.
As long as you don't take lethal.
So long as I don't take lethal. Yeah, if I have to have more than 13 life.
Yeah. A card that I don't see very often, and I'm noticing in your deck, is the Enchantment Room from Duskmourn, Dollmaker's Shop, Porcelain Gallery.
Yeah, this card is so good.
And so I imagine you're mostly using Porcelain Gallery.
Both are good. So one side makes tokens whenever you attack, and one side...
Porcelain Gallery is for 4 white. Creatures you control have base power and toughness, each equal to the number of creatures you control. So that gets out of control pretty quick.
I don't see this run that much. It's a great card.
No, I know.
All the little versions of Welcoming Vampire, Takasha's Welcome, Caretaker's Talent, all those are amazing. There's a couple of new cards. Halia, Guided by Light from Edge of Eternities, who is basically a soul sister, but if I gain more than 3, I draw a card, and she can be whipped in. Yeah. That's like exactly what this deck is trying to do. Similar to Porcelain Gallery, there's a Final Fantasy card that I also don't see that to me is bonkers. When I read the card, it's called Champions from Beyond. Do you know this card?
I'm just at it right now. I don't know this card.
It's totally bonkers to me. It seems so incredibly good. It's white, and X. It's an enchantment. When it enters, create X 1/1 colorless hero creature tokens. Great. That's what good. The deck wants to do. And then it sticks around, and it says whenever you attack with 4 or more creatures, scry 2, then draw. And then whenever you attack with 8 or more creatures, which is pretty easy in a token deck, those creatures get +4/+4 until end of turn. So makes tokens, draws you cards, and can make you attack with a bunch of 5/5 little dinky soldiers.
It's pretty good.
Another card I really love in this deck is Deep Gnome Terramancer, which I did get out in that game we played the other day. Insane value on that. It's a 2-mana flash creature. Whenever 1 or more lands enter the battlefield under an opponent's control without being played, you search your library for planes, put it on the battlefield, tapped, and then shuffle. Do this only 1 turn. This put probably 4 planes on the battlefield and helped me get Darien out. Amazing.
That's pretty sweet. Can we talk about this generous gift?
Yeah, this is like a sub-theme. There's a sub-theme, a visual sub-theme in the deck.
I've noticed this.
I think there's only 3 cards that I've altered to put. You have another one here, actually. I wrote this one.
Yep. And there's another, the guard dog.
So I've painted a bunch of my pets onto this deck, and including my recently departed dog, Aji. So he's on the generous gift. Instead of an elephant, it's a big, rambunctious 3/3 dog, and I've crossed out elephant and put in dog. And then I also have my cat on the Guildless Commons. There's like a empty statue thing, and I put oh yeah, there we go. And Loyal Warhound.
Yeah.
Which I've also done to be my departed dog. And I think that might be a theme that I go into a little bit more with this deck as a kind of little memorial to.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should make all the tokens dogs.
Well, here, what do you think of this idea? I was thinking of replacing the horse on Darien with a dog.
Yes, I think it's a great idea.
He's riding a giant, goofy Bernese Mountain Dog.
I love everything about this.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm noticing is in the box, there's a little golden crown that folds up, like a little Burger King style dollar store crown.
That's also linked to my dog, Aji.
Is it?
Yeah.
The crown?
Yeah, the crown.
Explain more.
So Vinny and our other friends.
Oh, is this that story? Okay, let's go.
I was not expecting to tell this story.
No, this is great.
Actually, Vinny, why don't you tell it?
So I will tell. This is my version of the story. So Neale and I went up to a cottage, and there's him, myself, and our other friend Sean. We were just going up to play games for a weekend at a cottage and hang out. And we brought a bunch of food. And Neale was already there. Sean and I drove up. We were entering the cottage with our like armfuls of like bags and gear and games and food, and Sean walks in and he's got, what's it called? The tarte.
It's called a galette du roi.
Galette du roi, and it's basically like a little pie. And there's a tradition around it where there's like a bean in it that's like kind of uncooked, and if you find the bean, you become like the king for the evening, le roi. You get to wear a little crown, and everyone, you know, is like supposed to treat you nicely, nicer than usual. Anyways, it's just like a nice little bonus from eating a galette du roi. And so Sean takes it out and is like presenting. He's like, "Oh, guys, I got a galette du roi." And as it's coming out of the bag, I'm like, he's being very casual with this, because all I can think is the moment I entered, my eyes are on Aji, because Aji is
100 pounds.
Was like a giant Bernese food eating machine, and also is as quick as an assassin, and will grab food at like a, you know, you might think he's just sitting looking into space thinking of clouds, but behind his brain is just like the word food, like a cartoon character.
He's like the Terminator.
Yes, for food.
Where he's like scanning and there'll be a little target and it's like food.
Yeah, and so as soon as we walk in, I'm like, oh man, we gotta like make sure we put the food up high, keep it in the bags, make sure Aji like is safe. And so as soon as Sean starts taking it, I'm like, as soon as I have the thought, I'm like, oh, this is being like exposing this thing to danger. Like my spider sense for Aji, and I will say I've developed this sense because I have two kids, and when they were very little, I had like a radar for how far their arms could go.
Yeah.
And as soon as like they could reach something, I'm on it. And so I had the same radar for Aji, and I was like, I think this is going to, and as soon as my brain completed the first few words of that thought, Aji had already leapt through the air, bit into and took like about a third of this galette du roi into his mouth.
I actually need to correct you on one detail.
Yes, please.
He did not take it out of the bag.
No.
It was in the bag, and Aji ripped through the bag, through the box.
I felt like it was coming out. I felt like I was like, that was the signal for danger, but I guess it was even...
And he actually had, in his other hand, he had a big bag of rolls, and he lifted that up. He was like, oh no, danger.
Sean lifted the bag of rolls.
And then it looked like it was safe, and Aji bit through this like it was a reusable like plastic grocery bag. Yeah. Ripped clean through it and got about a quarter.
I felt like Sean was, and this is just my mismemory. He was taking it out, like not. And again, I'm not victim blaming here. Like Sean was doing something that a totally normal, expected thing to do. Is like, here's the thing that I brought. Yep. Here's the bag, and I'm putting it down on the table. And Aji had his own ideas. He just leapt through the air, I guess, through a bag, through the container, and then had taken like a giant dog-sized bite out of it.
To wrap this all up, the crown is from, it came with
the galette,
with the pot, with a king, I think king cake, as I've heard, but that sounds lame to me.
It's like a galette is like a disc.
Yeah,
it's not a really great translation.
And roi is king.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I took the crown that you're supposed to wear
when you get the bean.
Yeah, and it's like, it used to be a bean. Now it's actually like a little ceramic figure or whatever it is, which is crazy to have that in your food.
Yes,
like it's like
you do have to like be aware when you're eating that you might find something hard in it.
So it's also like, oh, king, crown.
Right.
The reason it's in the deck is it's the monarch token.
The monarch token.
So in theory, if you want to, you can wear the crown when you steal the monarch.
Right. I want to add a coda to that story, which is the immediate aftermath. And it took, I think, all of us a second to process what had happened.
It was so fast.
It was so fast and so unexpected.
Yeah.
The thought that it might happen
Yeah.
occurred almost simultaneously with it happening, and then it took me like several more moments to process what had happened.
Yep.
And we all were kind of like stunned, and I think like Sean was like just like flabbergasted. I don't know if there's a better word for that.
And then you were laughing like it was the funniest thing ever, which like Sean is not an awkward person at all, but he was so flustered of just like what to
just
do
happened, yeah,
that it made the whole thing like
well,
even
it was
funnier.
so hilarious to me because I was like, I'm having this thought, and it manifested itself.
Yeah.
And then I was like, of course, the world's greatest food thief is going to eat it.
Yeah. I describe him often as the Michael Jordan of stealing food.
Yeah.
He is so fast and efficient, especially when he was younger, that you did not have time to react before you like I feel like this whole thing played out in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Like it was like you enter as you stole the bag. Basically like 3 seconds went by.
Anyways, so having a testament to this dog, I feel like you should do like a food deck, thief deck.
A thievery deck.
A food thievery deck.
Just like our guest Beth did with her dog
as a memorial. Yeah. And in any case, this is also a great one because it has monarchs, it has pets. So yeah, it's great to see all the artwork for the dog and to have the crown from this very memorable moment in Aji's life.
Yeah. It also has a couple other cards that are probably worth pointing out. It has a coveted jewel that we picked up in Rochester that is signed by Mike Burns.
Yep.
And it's great in this deck. I've never actually cast it, but in theory, because you're daring people to attack you, right? Like it's another reason why the monarchy is so good.
You want many incentives for people to attack you.
It's weird. If there was a card that said like goad creature, it can only attack you. I would play it in this deck.
Absolutely, you would. Reverse goad. Well, I love it.
Another card that I would call out is I have Divine Visitation in this deck.
Okay,
which is nuts. Basically says whenever you make a token, you may instead make a 4/4 angel with flying. This totally got me killed, I think, when I played it. Like everyone was so scared of it.
As soon as you played that, I think everyone's like, oh, our clocks just got 4 times smaller.
Yeah. And I bought this card when my dad had some health problems a couple years ago, and I went to visit him. Near the hospital, there was a magic card store. I went in and I was like, visitation. I'm here. I'm literally in this town. I've got like to visit my dad. I'm going to pick this up as like a little memento. Yeah.
And little did you know you'd use it.
Yeah. And it's terrifying because you hit me for 5. I make 20 power with flying.
It's bananas. It's a good deck.
Yeah, it's strong.
It's just the ways to deal with it are limited, and I think that's what's frustrating for people because the ways you want to normally deal with it, like the conventional ways that you would eliminate someone, don't apply to this deck, and so that kind of changes the game in and it's a very interesting way to change the game, and I like decks that do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can totally see how it might be frustrating for some people. But then it just creates a different dynamic where you're like, okay, well, now we got to deal with this.
In the case of the game we had a couple weeks ago, I feel like I came out as the clear threat.
Yeah.
And then everyone joined in to kill me. And then the second place player basically won the game. Yeah. Which isn't great, but I don't know. I had a great time. I was like, I like being the arch enemy, actually.
One of the things about the game we'll also note is that it was a 5-player commander game.
Yeah.
And I cannot stand 5-player commander. I hate it's like it's not just like 25% longer.
Yeah.
It's like 100% longer. Yeah. Because there's something about going from 4 to 5 that makes the game just so much longer. There's so much time between turns. Not everybody can see everything that's going on the table.
Oh, yeah. Like you were on the other side of the table. Yeah. I had no idea what was going on.
I only had a vague idea of what was going on at the other side.
Yeah. It's just like, tell me if something matters.
Exactly.
If not, like, just keep doing what you're doing.
If I am going to play 5, I would prefer to play pentagram or star or whatever you want to call it, where you only have the enemies that are the 2 people against you. Yeah. That's much more manageable. It ends a lot sooner. I like that version, man. There's much more interesting play decisions. I just open 5-player commander. Woof, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's amazing how much it adds. It's not.
Yeah, it's not just going like
it's exponential.
yeah,
It's
3-player and 4-player perfectly fine at playing a commander. As soon as you hit 5, it's like unplayable. I'll do it in a pinch.
that game wasn't so bad.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it.
I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. I can't see what's happening. Like I'm checked out for like at least 1, maybe 2 people's turns.
I don't know. I felt like I was getting all this attention. Like I was like the arch enemy.
Well, I could see the appeal of that.
Which I don't always like. So here's the thing with this deck. This deck has been quite successful. Like it wins a lot.
Yeah.
And I tend to not play my decks that win that much. Many times I have like won a game with this deck and then taken out whatever the card is that won. So there are some combos that you can do with this deck.
Right. You're not a fan of generally not a fan of combos unless it's like CDH.
I've started to come around just because I think games need to end.
Win conditions are good. Let's be clear about that.
And I also feel like Demonic Consultation, Thassa's Oracle win is very different from here's like 4 pieces that all...
Yeah, a 2-piece combo versus like a 4 or 5-piece combo is very different.
And also like I didn't tutor for anything. I just drew it naturally. Yeah. But I've also then taken those combo pieces out of my deck. Don't think that's necessarily the right way to build the deck. And I've toyed a little bit with putting some back in.
Sure. Well, yeah, if you're playing to win, go for the win. And this is a segue here because we have different deck building philosophies, which I think manifests itself in our arena decks at the beginning, but I would like to get into a bit more.
Our cool but rude
decks. And so, again, this started because you mentioned you were playing this cool but rude Is It deck in arena.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, this sounds interesting. Because normally these decks are either like control or aggro, and they're... It's like, all right, I attack, I bolt you, I attack, I bolt you, or we just like play land, go, counter, and it's kind of not super exciting.
Yeah.
The thing that's interesting is that it's this cool but rude, which is a class. Level 1 is for a red and 1, you cast it, and whenever you attack, you may discard a card, draw a card.
Yeah.
And then level 2 is, again, red and 1. Whenever you discard a card, you deal 2 damage to target opponent, I believe.
No, all opponents.
Each opponent. Okay.
2 damage to everyone
all opponents.
Else.
Okay. And then the third one, again, red and a 1. You gamble. You tutor for a card and then discard a card at random, which could trigger level 2, and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Basically, that and Monument of Endurance from Ether Drift, which is whenever you discard a card, you can pick one of 3 things that haven't happened yet, draw a card, make a treasure. Each opponent or target opponent loses 3 life. That one I don't remember.
I don't know.
But when you're playing standard, it doesn't matter. Your one opponent loses 3 life. And so
each opponent loses 3.
Each opponent, so there you go. Each opponent loses 3. And so you're basically trying to get yourself to discard cards, draw cards, etc., etc. And so you sent me a deck that played relatively aggro-ish.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hybrid. You need creatures attacking to trigger the Monument to Endurance and the Cool but Rude, but it's fairly aggressive. It has a bunch of 1-drops. It's trying to attack fast. I've been playing it on the arena ladder. I don't think it's like a tier 1 deck. I mean, I'm not sure. It got to Mythic real easy.
That's amazing.
I'm a big brewer, and usually what I'll try to do is I'll pick a theme for that season, which is the month. I will try to see if I can get that theme to Mythic. So I've done different builds. I've done Pioneer decks. I've done Standard. Usually my decks limp into Mythic. This one got to Mythic pretty easy.
Amazing.
It's definitely a legit tier 3, tier 2.
Sure.
We'll see.
What are the big guns in that deck? So we have Cool but Rude and we have Monument to Endurance. Those are the engines that are doing damage.
Yeah. And then your creatures that are attacking, your best sort of 1-drops would be Gran, Marauding Mako, and a Spider-Man card that's called Skittering Kitten in Arena. It's one of these like
Through the Omen Pass
Spider Cat Hero, and it's got Shoreline Looter, and Fear of Missing Out. Those are basically your creatures. They're all trying to either benefit from discarding. Shoreline Looter is a really good example of a card because you can attack into any board. It can't be blocked. And then when it deals combat, you draw a card and discard a card. That's perfect. That basically gives you 2 triggers of your discard outlets, and it can't be blocked. So you can do it again and again and again. Fear of missing out, you discard and draw when you play it.
Great.
Perfect. It has the added bonus that if you get
Delirium,
you can attack with it twice.
Right.
So I used that actually. Vinny and I tried our 2 decks out
Yeah,
against
we
each
played
other.
because I took a different path, and I was like, oh, that's what's happening. Because you're filling up your graveyard Delirium, because I didn't think that second one was doing that much, but it actually does. Getting a second attack is nothing.
Yeah, and then the other advantage of Fear of Missing Out, I mean, it's not like a secret card. It's a well-known card, is if you are out of cards, you discard nothing, you draw a card. And one of the funny things about this deck is you need 1 card in hand.
Right.
As soon as you go Hellbent,
you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Yes.
You got to be close to Hellbent.
Yes.
And then you have to be extremely unprecious about what the last card is. It might be the best card in your deck, and you're like, I'm going to discard, draw, discard, draw, discard, draw. So this gives you that last card sometimes if you're almost out. So yeah, Fear of Missing Out, pretty close to uncuttable for me. I think the worst card, and we'll post the deck list, I assume somewhere.
We'll post both your commander and your deck list and my deck list there'll be 3 deck lists for this episode on our Moxfield. Untapped Libraries at moxfield.com.
And the other thing that the deck really wants is, because Monument to Endurance, you can only trigger each mode once per turn. It wants ways to discard on the opponent's turn. Marauding Mako, you can cycle. That counts as a discard. It also runs Magmakin Artillerist, which is not great. You usually don't want to cast it unless you really need a blocker, but you can cycle it, and when you cycle it, it deals 1 damage to each opponent, plus you have your other payoffs. And then it also runs Capital City, which is a card I've never seen anybody run, which is a colorless land that you can cycle for 2. And it's literally just there to like throw away.
Yes, for cycling.
For cycling, yeah. I play all my other lands first, and then
if you have it left over, it's an extra discard.
Yeah, and it's untapped.
It's fine.
And it also runs Agna Kella, which is a land from Avatar.
Yeah.
You pay 2, tap, draw a card, discard a card. Very unassuming, but I've killed people with this card for sure, where they think that they have me and I pass to their turn, tap.
And then Monument to Endurance on their turn.
Yeah. And sometimes you'll have Cool But Rude and Monument to Endurance.
So you're doing 5.
You're doing 5, yeah.
That's pretty good. So I took it in a different direction because I'm not a great aggro player. It's not my default mode. I can do it if I have to, but if I can find a different way, I'll try it. And so one thing that I noticed, and I was messing around with a bunch of stuff, is that Artist Talent is the card that really hooked me.
Artist Talent is a great card, and I've definitely tried it in the deck. It's not like I don't know about it.
Yeah.
I just found I need so many creatures that I ended up cutting it for creatures that I could do the same thing.
I ended up just cutting creatures.
Yeah.
And then going full non-creature spell.
Yeah.
And so Artist Talent, a red and 1, again, it's a class. From Bloomborough, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. I almost never put it to level 2.
I was going to ask if you ever
almost
do that.
Never. Only if I have nothing else to do and I have the 3 mana.
Yeah.
So for 3 mana, a red and 2, non-creature spells cost 1 less cast, which isn't nothing.
It's good.
It's not nothing, but usually I'm trying to do something. I've got other things to do with my mana.
You're also kind of gambling that the game is going to go many turns,
and it usually doesn't. I'm usually either dead or won. And then there's a level 3, which seems like it could be helpful. Red and 2, if a source you control would deal non-combat damage, Cool But Rude, it deals that much +2. So now you're dealing 4 per discarded card, which is great. But to go 2 there, you have to put 3 and then 3 more 6 mana. That's a lot. The games are done by the time you've got your 6th land.
Standards these days is quite strong.
Yeah.
The games are
fast.
And the decks are good. And they're very diverse too. I'm actually really happy with where Standard is.
And so you've gotten to Mythic. I'm at Gold. Like I'm struggling to get out of
You
Gold.
Can get to Mythic. I believe that.
I think it's just I don't play that much. You need to be able to grind it.
You need to play every day.
Yeah. And I don't.
Yeah.
But this deck has made me play way more Arena than I usually do. Like normally I draft, I play a game, I'm free to play, so I just make sure I complete my quest for the day and then I log out. And I'm very happy drafting along like a little slow little kid's train that chugs along. It's a fun little distraction. But this deck, I enjoy playing it and tweaking it. And now that I feel like I've enjoyed it. So Artist Talent, all I want to do is I just want to cast as many non-creature spells while Cool But Rude is out. And I just cast a spell, discard a card, draw a card. Cast a spell, discard a card, draw a card. And so one thing that you mentioned earlier is that I'm making treasures is because I need the mana to just cast my card.
Right.
I'll do the treasure first, and then I'll do the do 3 damage second, because I'll still be able to cast the second spell.
Yep, that makes sense.
And so one thing that's been great is I do a lot more non-creature stuff. So I've got Into the Floodmaw, to bounce stuff, and I want to be able to do it instant speed. Spell Snare, because so many of the decks at the 2-drop spot they're all the critical, like, the Cub.
Yeah.
Every deck has a good 2-drop, right?
And it's 2-drops that they snowball.
Yeah.
Like 2-drops that are going to give you so much value over the course of the game.
100%.
The Cub is the
Cub is
example.
the brutal one.
Yeah. If you don't
stop that Cub, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And so Spell Snare is great because they have a turn 1. You put an island out or whatever, blue, and then they go at their second turn. You need to be able to stop what they're doing. And so Spell Snare allows you to do that at a very efficient rate.
So my question is, I find with this deck that, and we'll post it. So it's good. Honestly, it's super fun. It's one of the most fun standard decks I've played in a while. I find you're trying to do 2 things, which is you need creatures to attack. They trigger Cool But Rude.
Right.
And I kind of find that by adding the control element, you're now trying to do those, like I was talking about with Darien, where you're trying to do all these different things, and you can't always do all of them.
Yeah.
Like I almost wonder whether you should cut some of your creatures,
right,
and just go more into control non-creature spells completely.
I'm down to Skittering Kitten. I have 4 copies of that. I have 4 copies of Shoreline Looter, because Shoreline Looter is amazing. Like unblockable, auto draw discard, triggers Cool But Rude. And then I have Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel, which is
that's a great
for control because it has flash. And so you can flash it in. If like your opponent hasn't done anything that you need to worry about, you plop it in. It essentially gives it haste.
Right.
And flying, which is great evasion, and it does the same thing Shoreline Looter does. If you get to 4, which it never, like someone's blasted it, if you get to 4, you start just casting those spells for free. It happens occasionally.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, and then that's a bonus. But here's the thing is, it makes Cool But Rude essentially the first part where you attack and discard not really trigger that much. And so it turns into a 4-mana Monument to Endurance. So I'm paying 2, not really doing much with it. Occasionally I'm attacking, and it needs the extra card, Artist Talent, to really start going. So I'm of 2 minds. I think I'm going to stick with this for a little bit. I'll probably go back and forth. I'm going to go back to your build and see if I can do more combat-y stuff. Question, so there's the red creature that gets a +1/+1 counter.
Yeah, the Mako. Yeah.
There's the blue one that flies 1/2. Have you experimented with that, or is that just too expensive?
I have not. I decided it was too expensive. The big thing for me that the Mako has is, can you cycle?
You can also cycle.
You can also cycle.
They both have cycle.
Yeah.
And clearly they were made to be part of something like that.
The cycling is a really big deal. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is. It often will give you that 1 extra discard.
It cuts blue and 1, so it's more than just the 1. So you're trading some tempo for some evasion.
It's flying, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if you've tried it.
Definitely worth a try. I have not actually tried that one. I kind of wrote it off because I find the 2-drop slot pretty
clogged. Yeah,
I've actually had an experience. I don't know if you've had this with Shoreline Looter, where I'll have the opponent down almost to the end. They have a huge board that's about to kill me.
Yes.
I attack with the Shoreline Looter.
I know exactly where this
and
is
I
going.
go,
great.
As soon as I discard this card,
you're screwed.
They're dead.
And then triggers.
It triggers. I draw a card,
and there's no discard because you hit threshold.
And I'm like, this card would be so much better if it.
Which is what Malcolm does. Malcolm never doesn't discard. Never doesn't discard.
So maybe more Malcolm is the answer.
Yeah. Try swapping 1 or 2 in, because the problem is it's legendary.
Yep.
And so you can't have more than 1. But, I mean, in games, these creatures don't last long usually.
But casting that discarded card is huge. You still discard
it's huge.
Yeah.
But also the flash is nice too.
Yeah.
I will say that. It's kind of pseudo haste.
I find the 2-drop slot is the one that
It's
I'm
tricky.
always
It's
switching.
tricky.
I'm always switching those out.
But I totally see why Kitten and Mako, your 1-drops, you want to be aggressive and assertive with it.
Yeah, and the Kitten, so we didn't really talk about this. The Kitten, you can sack it, discard a card, draw a card. So that's bad for card advantage.
Yes.
You're going down 1 card.
Yes.
But you can do it at instant speed.
You kind of don't care if it lives sometimes because you're usually triggering Cool But Rude. And then you get another discard from the sack. You don't even care if it's blocked.
And if you have Monument to Endurance, you can then draw a card instead of one of the other modes.
And then get back.
You can also do a thing, sometimes Monument to Endurance, because you can only trigger each mode once a turn.
Right.
I always want to do the -3, almost always.
Right.
Unless I'm going to get to cast an extra spell from the treasure or I need a card in hand.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that you can do though is you can just play it past the turn. This is something I've done a lot. And then
it's an out of turn discard.
Yeah. You sack it
at instant.
Discard a card.
Yeah.
You trigger, often that's 5 damage.
Yeah,
right
and
there.
you definitely want to put that stop on their upkeep before they draw.
Or if you're really mean, which I have done, which I don't feel super proud of, you wait until they attack you with their giant board.
Let them play their turn.
And they're like, I'm gonna. Okay, I have done this. I didn't really mean for it to be mean. I have done it a couple times though.
I always put the stop on my opponent's upkeep
and just do it.
And I don't even want them to draw. I don't want anything to get in the way.
Okay.
I don't want them to gain life. I don't want them to. Yeah.
Okay. To me, maybe it depends what deck they're playing.
Also, I just want the game to be over.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel a little bad. I have definitely
That's
let
very
them
funny.
do a few
No, I
things.
love that. I love that for you.
Especially if they're like one of those players who spams the like oops.
Oh, well,
or,
okay, now you're talking.
Then I'll be like, okay.
Your turn.
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to let
that
you.
mute button is your friend.
I almost never mute. I'd rather.
Really?
Nah.
Oh, I just can't be bothered. As soon as someone's spamming, I'm like, I don't need this. I can shut you up.
Okay, here's an arena question.
Yeah.
Do you say hello to every person?
Never.
You play
Only
against?
if they say hello to me first.
I say hello to every single person.
Oh, interesting.
I just default, boom, bang,
That's
hello.
very polite of you. I don't. I do say good game at the end.
Yeah, I'll say good game.
I'll say good game.
Will you say good game in a passive aggressive, annoying
no.
way?
I legit win or lose. I always try to say good game. If the window is very small to say it, I will say.
Yeah. It's true. Often, as my head avatar is exploding, it'll say good game.
So I have played this deck, and I have had a few times where people will. It feels sincere, like with the emote "nice deck."
Yeah, for sure.
And I've people kind of like, oh, interesting, just because they haven't seen something like it before.
It's funny. I feel like all the pieces are here
Mm-hmm.
already. Like almost, except maybe like the kitten and a few of the weird little cards that it plays.
I would love a cycle counterspell. I would love any counterspell that had cycling.
There is a draw discard counterspell.
Yes.
In Foundations. I can't remember the name, but it's 3 mana.
It's 3 mana. I would love a 2 mana, make your opponent pay 2, cycling.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be the perfect. That's the missing ingredient for me in my control version of this.
So there's a couple of cards I have not tried yet, mostly because I don't have enough wild cards.
Okay.
So one of them is Raphael's Technique.
Yes.
Which is a Wheel of
Sneak
Fortune.
Card. Sneak Wheel of Fortune.
Which Wheel of Fortune we've already mentioned on this episode.
Discard your hand, draw 7.
I think that could be amazing.
I hate that because
mana.
I hate symmetric cards that gives my opponent
7
cards.
But they're dead.
But discard your hand usually at 1. Usually at 1 or 2 cards, so you're doing 4 more. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I think it's worth trying.
Maybe
it's definitely appealing. It's one of those cards that has the magical Christmas land appeal of like, I'm gonna have 7 cards in hand and I'm gonna cast this and do 14 damage just like that. But
so I did try. So the first thing I tried was a lessons package.
Yes.
So you sent me that. It had Grand in it. I'm like, oh, Grand.
You're almost there.
You're almost there because you do have abandoned attachments in there, which is great. Discard a card, draw 2.
Perfect.
And so already a lesson. And then there is the counter spell. It'll quench you.
It'll quench you.
Which will make you pay 2. Also a lesson. And then you could, theory, like take out a shock and put in one of those sorcery speed 2 damage lessons.
For sure, yeah.
And there's also the sorcery speed bounce lesson, which isn't that great. The sorcery speed bounce is not awesome.
It's pretty good though because you draw a card if you bounce your own thing.
You do.
So you could sort of like play like your fear of missing out. Bounce it back, draw a card,
interesting.
draw
I
another
never
card.
thought of that. Fear of Missing Out was one of the first cards I cut.
That you cut, yeah.
There's also, you have the 3/2 Kiora.
Yeah, that's kind of like a good finisher.
Sure.
You draw 2,
Draw
discard
2, discard 2. Do you ever use the 8/8 threshold part? Has that ever come into play?
Usually it'll happen like as they're dying,
right,
because it's an attack trigger. So usually, I don't think it's never made a difference in the game. You really, actually, another card. There's a Casey Jones.
Yes. Oh, I have seen that card.
Yeah, that's one probably better than Kiora.
Yeah.
You draw 3, discard 3.
I think that one's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I think I could cut Kiora and put that one in.
That might be worth a try.
Yeah.
One thing that I've been trying is Abandoned Attachments is so good in this deck. It's an instant 2, discard a card, draw 2. I've also been trying Demand Answers because I find 4 Abandoned Attachments is not enough.
Right.
And so Demand Answers is exactly the same thing. It's instant 2. You can sack an artifact or discard a card to draw 2.
There's also a bunch of creatures. There's Charming Scoundrel.
Right.
You discard 1, draw 1. And also it has haste.
Right. There's a lot of options. I guess it depends on what you feel like the deck is missing. And it's always, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, me too. Anyways, you should check out the deck.
Yeah.
I think it's
fun.
Really fun.
Yeah, Monument to Endurance, cool but rude. Good times.
Yeah, it's great. Well, thank you so much for our guests.
Yeah, thank you to our guest, Neale.
Us, yeah.
And
Vinny.
They're really interesting to talk to.
Yeah.
Says we.
My favorite guest so far.
I think that's it. Any final thoughts?
No. Do your great thing. Yeah.
Well, you can find us on Blue Sky and YouTube as Untapped Libraries, as well as Moxfield, where all of our guest deck lists, or us, are available. Our music is by Sparkling Water. You can find all of their music wherever you get your streams. Untapped Libraries is a proud part of the Podcavern network, found at podcavern.com. If you have any questions, comments, or discards for 2 damage, we can be reached at untappedlibraries@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and keep building.
Hello, folks. I'm Katie.
I'm Vinny.
And we host the Learn Real Good podcast.
It's a comedy podcast about science.
It's also a science podcast with comedy.
Each episode, we interview a science grad student about their research.
And we keep it casual, so you don't need to be a nerd to follow along.
We also share some of the latest science news.
I think you mean the latest science news.
Well, people need to hear more about amphibians.
I agree with that. So look us up on your favorite podcast source and
Learn Real Good. Presented by the Podcavern Network.
Close enough.